Raider Nation, what is up? It is your boy Cheeto Linus back for another episode of Puro Raiders Podcast. Of course, my usual co-host Queen B is in the house, but we have some special guests with us today. We do have the legend, the superhero, the star, Lincoln Kennedy, joining us today, as well as we will be going over some more of the Arizona Takeover stuff. So with that, let's get started. Let's get the intro going, and we will bring them all on right now.
Trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
And I approve this message.
Oakland Raiders, Oakland Raiders, Oakland Raiders. Just win, baby, win, baby, win, baby.
We are the
Oakland Raiders, Oakland Raiders, Oakland Raiders. Just win, baby, win, baby, win, baby. Don't need no invitation. We are that Raider Nation. We rock that black and silver. We make them shake and shiver. We make them reconsider. And we still committed. So if you want a piece of this, you can come and get it. Touchdown, touchdown. Let's throw a bomb on first down. Let's throw a bomb on every down. First we score, then we clown. Having fun, look around. Nobody loud as a Raider crowd. Nobody proud as a Raider crowd. NFL, how you like me now? We gon' do this open style. Nothing but action. I'm Bo Jackson. Hit the hole, run you over. Goal line, jumping over. Going crazy, lose your soul. Lose your mind in the black hole. Here's the goal, Super Bowl. And everybody here, get to go. Don't need no invitation. We are that Raider Nation.
Yeah.
We rock that black and silver. We make them shake and shiver. We make them reconsider. And we still committed. So if you want a piece of this, you can come and get it. Oakland Raiders.
Raider Nation, what is up? We are back. We are back. And like I told you today, we are back with the Arizona crew, my homegirl Queen B, all in autumn win, our homeboy Brian, and of course, Mr. Lincoln Kennedy himself. Welcome, everybody.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Good to be here. Man, my pleasure.
What's going down?
Let me put Lincoln in the middle. There we go. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but welcome, Lincoln. I know we're excited. I was excited knowing we were gonna get to meet you this weekend, and then knowing you were gonna come on the show before we go to Arizona, and I just can't wait. I know you're excited to get together with the nation. I always see you out there.
I love the nation, man. It's good to be with you guys. You look here, and I appreciate the intro and appreciate the spot. I have one request going forward. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm not telling you guys how to run your business, but you know I love the family, and we're all family, we're all nation. So I'm gonna call it like I see it. Professor Kennedy doesn't pull any punches. You got to take all the Devontae Adams shit off the promo.
It is not the first time I heard.
I'm just telling you. I mean, look, you guys do a good job, but you got to take all that. Look, he quit on us. It's not a Raider.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't. Look, good guy. Had the pleasure to cross some paths with him, stuff like that. But he quit on us, and so once you quit on the family, you're excommunicated. You're like. I mean, you're not coming back. You know what I mean? You're like you're like John Wick. You've been excommunicated. You cannot come back. It's a secret.
Oh man, that is so funny.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
Noted. Keeping it real. So I'm just calling it like I see it, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, we're working on a new video, and trust me, that's been the number one request is to get Devontae out of those videos.
I mean, you've got too much rich history to have someone that quit on us. And like I said, he just quit on us. So it is. He had his own prerogative. That's his choice. But there's a saying that once a Raider, always a Raider. Exactly. I hold that generally true. But in some cases, there are cases out there, and I've been very vocal with it. There were some
Antonio Brown,
Warren Sapp, Randy Moss weren't Raiders.
Weren't Raiders. Right?
No, they played in a Raider uniform, but they weren't Raiders. And so, when I'm talking to alumni and I'm talking to other former players, they kind of agree with me. And a lot of people in the nation agree with me. They might have their own personal feelings towards the guy. Personal feelings aside.
Right.
We cherish a brand and we respect the brand, and that is the silver and black. That is the Raiders. And you guys are a part of the Raider Nation. And as alumni, as a former player, I look at the Raider Nation as an extended part of our family. My teammates were my family. Guys that I played against, in different uniforms, they were cool when we took off the helmet. But when I put on the helmet, I want to rip your head off. You see what I'm saying? Right. So there was that difference there. But there were guys that brandished the silver and black that never really truly appreciated what it meant to be a Raider. And for whatever reason, money, contracts, so you're trying to get some more years out of your deal, whatever it is. But when a guy quits on the Raiders, you just excommunicated from the family. You're gone. You're dead for me.
No. I get you. A lot of the nation agrees with you. Trust me. We've had that debate on this show many a times. Who's not a Raider, once a Raider, always a Raider, who does it not apply to? And that name is definitely one of the ones that comes up.
And when I saw your promo open up, I was like, dude, what? Oh. And then there was a couple. No. I had to speak up. There was a couple highlights. I had to speak up. So
no. I'm glad. I'm glad you said something. Yes, we're definitely going to change that and upgrade it. I'm hoping to add some Genty runs to that this season.
That's what I would love to be able to talk about those too. If I come back on with you, absolutely, that'd be some fun. Yeah, no doubt.
I'm kind of looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing Devontae Adams receive some balls from Jimmy Garoppolo this season. That should be fun.
Some of those hospital balls.
Yeah,
that's some karma right there.
That
That's
was one of
karma.
his biggest complaints when he was with us. He was talking about some of those deep dig routes coming over the middle, and I'm like, look, it's not perfect, but you're good at what you do, and you know how to get down. And of course, if you get the ball in open space with that much land in front of you, you can make things happen, as he did in the past. But the fact is that he quit on us, and I just can't accept that, if that makes sense.
No, totally understand. And I'm so glad that you're.
Who are we talking about? I don't even know who you're talking about. I don't understand.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly. That's exactly the point. That's exactly right.
I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I watch you or see you with Q, I love your bluntness. Even when you hear the nation question about the O-line moves and stuff, I always tell people Lincoln said to shut up and let the coaches coach.
guys, if you know me, you know I only have one speed. I got to call it like I see it, and I don't sugarcoat anything. You know what I mean? I call it like I see it, and I will tell you when the Raiders play like crap, they play like crap. Well, I would tell you when they played well, they played well. But there were so many people out there that I consider armchair quarterbacks or armchair coaches. Everybody has this theory of how things go. You know, let the professionals do their job. We can critique, we can analyze, we can speak, and we can voice our opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't want anybody ever not to share their opinion, but I don't sugarcoat stuff. So I'm gonna call it like I see it, and that's the only way I know how. My loyalty, bleeds silver and black. So my loyalty goes to the brand, but it also goes to the family and the nation. They appreciate my candor. They appreciate my honesty because they know I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And so that's my voice. That's the only way I know how to be, how to be. I got to call it like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I've been with, working with Lincoln for a long time, and he's never changed. He's always treated the nation like family, at events, at the airport. I mean, I myself have ran into him at the airport, going to games, coming back from games, and he would treat you the same all the time, 100%.
See, I need to stop flying Frontier or something. Where do you guys keep running into Lincoln? I never seen him.
Southwest.
Southwest is an easy flight up to Vegas, baby. An hour up.
Okay, I need to start doing Southwest.
Hey, you do you. But you know where I'll be. You know what I mean? It's not like it was back in Oakland. We were in D lot or lots or surrounding the stadium. You don't have that presence anymore. And look, the NFL changed that up. But when we get together, it's still one big party.
Yeah.
Lincoln, let me ask you, because I don't really try to get too much into like being the armchair quarterback. My whole thing has been trying to show and represent Raider Nation, the fans, what they're all about. But, do you think that after 20 years of suffering that the Raider Nation has gone through, there's been a lot of rough years. Do you think that somehow has enabled fans to think they know what they're talking about with offense and defense and X's and O's?
You know what? It's a good question, but I will say this: even when we were successful, there was always somebody chirping about how we should do things different.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So to your point, yes, they definitely earn a voice. There's no doubt. And look, I feel for them. I mean, my old ass was the last successful team. You know, and I know I've raised kids since that point. I mean, come on now. So, you know, waiting for it to come around. And I also know how hard it is in this business to do things right. You know, and there are things that go out of your control. If we turned back the dial a couple of years ago, Mark had to let John Gruden go based on what came out because it was bad for business.
Oh yeah,
the NFL released that information because they want to protect one of their owners. So, but John Gruden became the casualty of that war, right? And just never got it right since, because you're reaching. And look, I feel for the nation. I feel for the team. Covering the team, being the broadcaster for so many years, I saw the ups and downs. I saw the good and bad. I saw players come and players go, coaches come, coaches go. I know there has been a lack of consistency. What even further infuriates me is the fact there's a team in our division that has had so much success that I can't stand.
Oh, my hate is for them.
It's one of those things where it's like, oh, it just drives you crazy. But I also understand, because I was part of the process, the growth of the process back then when we were successful in the late 90s and early 2000s, the last time we actually did something. I was part of that process of watching that team grow, starting from the nucleus factor, and it grew to where it was. And then it just kind of fell apart. After the Super Bowl year, it fell apart. My last year of contract in 2003, we went 4-12. It was a disaster. My body was falling apart. I had to leave the game. You know, I remember telling Mr. Davis, may he rest in heaven, I told him at the point when he was like, well, I know you're beat up. I know you're tired. Just take training camp off and come back. And I was like, no, Mr. D, with all due respect, you need to move on from me, because as long as I'm in a Raider uniform, I'm going to give you my all. And my all is diminishing. I no longer have the ability, the physical ability that I did to be that guardian up front for your quarterback. So you have to move on from me. And they ended up drafting Robert Gallery. Now, you started to see the little snowball effect of trying to draft and trying to replace. And now you fast forward to them being in Vegas. Well, if you look on the roster, who are the seniors that are Raiders represented from the draft? You got guys like Colton Miller. You got guys like Max Crosby. Guys, there's been such a big turnover, because every time you bring in a new coach, you're bringing a new philosophy, a new general manager. You're getting rid of a lot of the guys they didn't draft to either create draft capital moving forward. But John Gruden did that. When he had that 10-year, $100 million contract, he did just that, because Mark turned over the keys to the car and said, here, you take over, build this team. And then he was vanished. He was kicked out before he could really finish what he was doing. And so the Raiders have been reeling ever since, with coaches, the roundtable, and everything else. So I feel for the nation. And I'm right there with you guys. I share the same pain, and it's hard to watch some games at time, but there's no one who really deserves to be, or to put themselves out. And we got a nice little storm here in Arizona, say, on my side of town. But there's no one in my estimation that really needs to sit there and say that they know what's best for the team. You might think, but
by the way, there's only four players left from Oakland, by the way.
See, that's you can't build a team if you don't have stability. And even when I joined the team, there were already guys that were well established. Steven Wisniewski was on the team. You know, there were guys that were here that I played with, that we built this thing up. We brought in pieces from other teams and gave them a second chance, like the Davis family gave me, coming from Atlanta so early in my career. And I never looked back. And even though we didn't always have the right coaching, when they finally decided on Gruden, he put us in a place that Callahan took over. We had a nice little run. So it is what it is.
Yeah. And I know Mark Davis gets a lot of the blame for everything that's been going on. And I've heard you talk before that I would think, and I would agree too, that Mark has done what he can, bringing in with the coaches, whether they failed or not, but he's trying to make that attempt. Wouldn't you think?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, Mark wants the team to be successful, and everyone who knows Mark and knows the situation knows that. The thing is that, and it's hard for Raider fans to really accept it, because when you hear Davis, you automatically think of Al and what Al did long before we were thought of, long before we were born, the way he created the atmosphere that is the Raider Nation, or that is the Raiders. And then, you know, how that trickled down to the fans and stuff like that. And you have generations of fans within the Raider Nation. I see a lot of times grandfathers bringing their grandsons and granddaughters to games dressed up. And I love that stuff. You know what I mean? But Mark, when he first took over after Al passed in 2011, he said straight up, I'm not my father. I respect that. I'm not my father. I don't have my father's knowledge in the game, but I'm going to do my best. And since then, Mark has tried to do his best, everything that he knew. Now, there are always people chirping in his ear, And that's why I'm quick to say when fans come out the woodwork and start saying stuff, I'm like, dude, let the coaches coach. Let the players play. We'll figure it out. Nobody wants to go on the field and not be successul. There's not a guy out there who's like, I don't care what we do. No. Everybody wants to be successful. So you gotta let things happen, and they will. They'll get better.
Hey, how do you feel about this new regime? I know it's new and it's Pete, but a lot of the nation seems to think or want that instant success with this season, thinking we're playoff bound because of Pete and things like that.
No pun intended with this lightning storm outside, but you can't catch lightning in a bottle. It either happens or it does. I mean, really, it does. You can't predict that it's going to happen. Look, what I've seen so far from this team, and it's really too early to say because we're just finishing up preseason. What I've seen so far in this team is there's a newfound energy. Everyone has bought into Pete Carroll's energy and his atmosphere from his coaching staff, which is good. You want that. Yeah. You don't want anybody to question it. Right. I think he's got some good pieces in place with players and coaches. It'll be interesting to see how Chip Kelly, translates to back to the pro after having success in the college and didn't have success his first time with Philadelphia in the pro game, but getting back into the pro game. It'll be interesting to see how he does. It'll be interesting to see how Patrick Graham's defense takes the next step, because now you're going to have more film and there are going to be more offenses that are ready for this defense. And this defense still has flaws. So it'll be interesting to see how all these things come together. And then, of course, me being practical and realistic, let's call it love for what it is. It's like, you got to be honest with yourself. What is a true positive outcome for the season?
Super Bowl.
Double the amount of wins. Well, I mean,
I'm joking.
But it's, let's be realistic. Like when you talk about the teams that are in the league, there are way more teams out there that are better put together and working than where the Raiders are right now.
Even in our own division alone.
Absolutely. And so from the Raiders at this standpoint, being practical and realistic, because that's how I am. That's what I'm calling it. If they're able to double the amount of wins they had last year, I think if that's a starting point for me, if they're able to double the amount of wins that they had last year, and then they'll get probably one or two on the heels of special teams or defensive wins the games. Then you're talking about double-digit wins.
Yeah. How do you feel about the last two drafts? I feel have been extremely solid, and I can't remember a time when the Raiders had two drafts in a row that I felt really good about.
Well, here's what I will say. I know that last year the Raiders had their eyes on Michael Penix, and then when he was drafted by Atlanta before they got their pick, I didn't know where they were going to go. I actually thought they were going to go offensive tackle or offensive lineman, because I thought they were going to address the right side, but they ended up getting Brock Bowers, and after watching Brock Bowers in his rookie year, that was a dream come true. You couldn't ask for anything better outcome. And now I will say this: him matched up with Michael Mayer, the both of them, I think that's a proven force. There's no doubt about it. And then them getting Ashton Jeanty, think the world of that young man. I just know this: Ashton's not going to be able to carry the ball in the National Football League 330 times like he did last year at Boise State. You see what I'm saying? So, you got to be realistic on how all these pieces are going to fit together. And ultimately, this is what I've said on the Raiders Locked On podcast that I do with Chantel and Q and every other medium I've talked on. There's only one football. You've got a number of names or players that can attribute to this offense. You got a quarterback who has the capability of getting the ball. You have an offensive coordinator that is creative enough to find ways to get the ball out there. But there's only one football. So, you can't go every game like I want Brock Bowers to have a big game. I want Mayer to have a big game. I want Ashton Jeanty to have a big game. Oh, everyone's not going to have a big game. You know what I mean? So, and this offensive line still needs to come together. But I do like the pieces in place. So to answer your question, I thought it's been a pretty solid draft. Now we have to teach these individuals to play as a team. That's the thing about the drafts. When you bring all these guys in and these collection of free agents, as the Raiders have done on both sides of the ball, you got to make them play as a team. And that's harder to draw from than anything else.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. Shout out to my boy Chris from Protect the Show. He's got a great question for you, because we talked about this with other players here on the show. But what are your thoughts on Callahan changing the game plan right before the Super Bowl? Did some of the team believe it was potentially sabotage, as Tim Brown has alluded to?
See, Tim and I differ on this opinion. I don't think Callahan changed the game plan before the Super Bowl. The reason was because that Super Bowl was the last of the 1 weekers between the AFC and NFC championship.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the last of the 1 weekers. Now it's always 2 weeks before between the games. And we went down to San Diego. If you remember that year, we played the Tennessee Titans. We were the night game. We were the late game. We went down to San Diego the following morning, Monday morning. Tuesday was media day. Wednesday and Thursday were our normal practices as we were trying to get ready for the game. So within that time, there wasn't a whole lot of change. And that was to our detriment, to be honest with you. That was to our detriment. I know that Tim has stated that before, and Tim and I have often talked about it. And as an offensive lineman, I took many knocks in the head, so there's probably some details I don't remember. But here's the thing, and this is what it comes down to. Callahan, Barrett Robbins, they didn't lose the game. We lost the game because John Gruden knew us better than we knew ourselves. He knew Rich Gannon better than he knew himself. He knew that if he put Rich in a certain situation, we were going to audible to a certain play. And that's when the defense capitalized on it. And if you look at the game, what's the difference in the game? 4 turnovers for touchdowns.
Oh, that's what it looked like when you saw the game. They knew what was coming. Yeah.
They were calling it out on the field.
Yeah.
He's running a slant. He's running a post. He's running a hitch. They're calling out the plays. This is from safety down to defensive line. They're all calling out the plays. And that's when we scratch it. Like, oh, shit, they know our offense. How did they know our offense? So, and then, to complicate things with Barrett being missing, we had Adam True. Adam True had played all year, but the thing was the hype of the game. There were times where Rich and I were talking on the sideline. He's like, I'm going to give out dummy audibles. I said, Rich, you really got to be careful because Adam is starting in his first Super Bowl. Well, like a lot of us, if you call a dummy audible and Adam doesn't recognize a dummy audible, he makes a call in just in protection, you're going to get killed.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so there were we tried to make adjustments, and even in the second half when we made a little bit of comeback, it wasn't enough. We were so far down. And again, you look at the factor where it was 4 interceptions for touchdowns, the difference in the game. It was just Gruden knew us better than ourselves. If we had more time, we would have thought about it. And I think that's one of my greatest regrets. Because to be honest, guys, that was my poorest game of my career. That played the worst game of my career. Absolutely. I was so damn exhausted by the time Super Bowl came around, by the game came around. I was back in my hometown of San Diego. I was partying. I was hanging out. I was thinking that we were the Raiders of the old, like they did back in New Orleans when they beat Philadelphia the first time. Not the case. I was dog tired when we got to that game.
I remember that weekend. I was actually in the Navy station in San Diego during that Super Bowl. So I got to see your media day, and then I heard about Barrett Robbins, and I was like, oh, my God, it was just so bad. Yeah.
Just too many distractions. I remember the thing. I wish that we would listen to I wish that I would have listened to guys like Rod Woodson and Jerry Rice. They had said at the time, but it just never clicked into after the fact. They said, look here, the Super Bowl is the world's biggest sports party, except for the teams that are playing in it. And like I said, I was hanging out. I was on everybody's VIP list. I was a star. I was going out to parties left and right. Leave one, go to another. You couldn't get enough. I couldn't get enough. So I know that was a factor that really did me in, and that's why I say the Super Bowl was the worst game I played in.
Wow.
That's also the reason why I came back the year after. We had talked about it amongst ourselves, us, Rich, Tim, and you're like, look, we got everybody under contract. Let's make another run at it. Little did we know it was going to be a disaster the following year.
Yeah, because then injuries all came, and we ended up having guys, just kind of quit on us. Not really go through the rigors like it took till we got there. And Callahan couldn't hold us together. He lost the team really early, and it was just a disaster. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. Like it brings new light to when you look at different things from a different perspective. Yeah. The way I saw it,
my life is an open book. I don't mind sharing anything.
The way I saw it was the way you said. It just looked like they knew what was coming the whole time you were watching that game. I was like, they just knew what was it. But you were one of the people. Like Al Davis was known for taking chances on people.
Yeah.
And he brought you over, took a chance on you. You just excel. Like, what does that feel like knowing you were one of those people that we get to talk about in Raider history that Al took a chance on and it worked out?
The greatest story.
Uh-oh.
Your power go out?
Is that Al?
Power out.
That's Al.
Is that Al?
Damn. Are you there? Okay. You guys got me? Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I'm glad the computer stayed up. Damn. All right. Anyways, okay. So real quick, back in what was it, 92 or 93? I was coming out of college. I was playing in the East-West Shrine game, and we were practicing at Stanford on the farm. And I remember coming up the hill after practice and seeing off in the distance Mr. Davis standing in one of his white jumpsuits, and Butch was his security guard there. Butch and I are really close. So Butch was security. So I ran up to him. I'm like, dude, Mr. Davis, my name's Lincoln Kennedy. It's a pleasure to meet you. Man, you know, he's sucking his teeth with his glass. We know who you are, young man, and big fan of yours. You won't be available in the draft when we have our pick this year, but I promise you, one day you're going to be a Raider. And I'm just like, what? Sticking out my chest, you know, feeling myself. You know, yeah, all right. Walked off, just standing proud and everything else. Fast forward, get drafted by Atlanta, and 3 years later, hate Atlanta, hated the run and shoot, hated everything about Atlanta at the time. And it was like I won out. Okay. My agent called me and he said, there's a couple teams interested. And he said, one of them's the Raiders. And I said, wait, are the Raiders still? I heard they were moving back to Oakland. Are they still in LA or are they still in Oakland? Because I played with some of those and hung out with some of those LA Raiders. And a lot of guys were distracted about scripts and musicals and all this other shit. They didn't care about football. I'm like, I want to play in that team. He's like, no, they're moving back to Oakland. I said, bet. I said, I remember growing up in San Diego. I remember that Oakland feeling, that Oakland Raiders feeling. So I was like, bet, let me do that. So went there. And then I remember the first day on El Segundo, we had a mini camp when I just got traded over in 1996, May of 96. We had a mini camp at El Segundo. And I said, saw Mr. Davis standing there, walked out. I said, Mr. Davis, I'm so happy to be here. He's like, Lincoln, I told you one day you'll be a Raider. Go get him. Was a starter ever since I touched the field until I left. And that's how fairy tales come true to me. And that's what the Davis family did for me. And that's why I'm so loyal to the silver and black.
That makes so much sense.
Hey,
shout out to my homegirl Myra. She said, hey, Big Link, I still owe you some lumpias.
Oh, shit. No doubt. You're right, Myra. You do. That's right.
One of the craziest things about that story you just told is that it's like 1996. And when they told you they're moving to Oakland, you responded with bet.
Absolutely.
I think you might have invented the word bet.
Professor Kennedy's got a few things going on. True story, no doubt.
You might be right. I think back then we used word. We might have used word back in 96. That was a great story, but wow. Yeah, I remember when that happened. I was in LA. I was at LA one, and then they moved to Oakland. And then my uncle told me, we're getting Lincoln Kennedy. I was like, who's that? He was big into college. But he knew. And just wait, he's going to solidify our O-line. They're going to finally block for our guys. And then I saw how big you were. I was just a senior in high school.
Right.
So I was like, Jesus, he's huge.
You know, for Raider fans, it wasn't just the Super Bowl. It was the 3-year run where we could have won a Super Bowl every year. And it started with Saragusa landing his fat ass on Gannon in the AFC Championship in Oakland. And then it was the Tuck rule. And then it was Gruden beating us. You know, it was 3 in a row. And then Gannon's neck. And from there, it's been rough, man. Yeah. It's been rough. Yeah. But those years were great. And everyone remembers those with just such fondness. And man, what a time. Oakland was rocking. The top shelf of the Coliseum was open. I sat up there a couple of times. That was wild up there. You didn't know.
It was a great party, and it's one of the things that I come to love about the nation, because of, the Coliseum, even though it was a rundown piece of shit inside, it was still, the fanfare and the excitement out there. It didn't matter the record.
No,
people were coming out. We were at that time in that little short span. We were the greatest party in town. Yeah. So I mean, really, you had to be at a Raider game, and this was, if you weren't in, you were missing something, because I knew people that had just come to the parking lot to tailgate, party their ass off. The hell with the game, I'm partying my ass off, and I'm out the door. So that was back when it really made it fun, and you really defined home field advantage, because everyone knew that they were going to get it. You were going to get a game. You might not always win them all, but you were going to get a game. You're going to get our best, and the Raider Nation really bought the best out of guys like me, especially on the football field, because I was passionate about showing you a good time. I'm part of the entertainment crew. But more importantly, if we were able to win in front of our crowd, that's why hoisting up the AFC Lamar Hunt Trophy after we won it was so personal to me. And that's why when I walked around the field shaking everybody's hand, is because you guys helped us get here. You helped us achieve that point. That's how the affinity that the players who respected and appreciated what it meant to be a Raider, really loved about the Raider Nation.
Yeah, no, you're right. A lot of people said there was a shithole, but that was our shithole. We loved it. My first time to Oakland was in 08, 09, and I went every year after that. That had to go. From LA, I would make that trip. It was just amazing to me. It even made me a bigger fan, actually, I think, going to Oakland. Made me an even bigger fan. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We got a question from you.
I started going to Oakland in 04, so that was, I think, your last year or before your
my last year was 04. Well, actually, my last year was 03. I retired summer 04, but I was still around.
And I went thinking like, man, I'm gonna get to see the greatest of the Raiders. And then that's when they started playing bad. And every year I went after, I kind of blamed myself after. I was like, I brought the bad luck.
It was your fault. It was your fault.
I did the same, but I had too much fun at the parties to not come back.
Yes.
I'm coming back. I don't care.
Hey, Coach Tipping was, he said, my favorite memory from York, PA. Look, Coach, with all due respect, I was born in York, PA, guys. This is a little small town in central Pennsylvania where I was born in 1971, but I moved out to San Diego at 78. So I didn't play any sports back in York.
Okay.
So that's why I consider when people ask me, where'd you grow up? I grew up in San Diego because I was too young. I was a Navy brat. My dad moved us out to San Diego, and I grew up in San Diego. And that's actually when I started playing sports.
Where in San Diego did you grow up in? Link, I didn't even know that part.
Spring Valley, Chula Vista area. I went to Morse High School.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I lived in National City and Imperial Beach for years.
Yeah. Know that area really well. I still miss those
Spring Valley swap meet.
Yep, no doubt. I miss those carne asada burritos back in San Diego. Those are some good times, man. Oof.
Yeah. A lot of people miss Oakland. I have a question. I've always wondered this. Because people always blame certain time frames, the Siragusa, the Tuck rule was our downfall, right? Me personally, I've always thought it was the trade of John Gruden, trading away John Gruden and the impact that probably had. I wonder if you, as a player, how did you guys take that, knowing that our coach was traded away just like that?
It wasn't just like that. To be honest, Al Davis called me into his office after he made the deal, and he said, I've never liked when other teams pursue coaches that are under contract. Gruden was still under contract.
Yeah.
But if you remember Al, and some people say that it's to his detriment, I'm not going to speak ill of the man because he's no longer with us, but he appreciated players more than he appreciated coaches. Al's philosophy was, if I give you the best team, a little teenage girl can coach this team to win. No, it doesn't. It's a little bit more involved than that. So when Tampa approached Al with a deal for John, Al named his price, and it was a hefty price. Draft choices, cash, and everything else. And at that particular point, being the man that he was, he's like, well, you just gave me everything I asked for, and then some. I have to do it. He felt compelled in that situation to do it, if that makes sense. So we didn't like it. It was unfortunate because the last words at that particular point that John Gruden had shared with me and the rest of the team was after the Tuck Rule game. And it was like, they'll never let you win as long as you're in a Raider uniform. And that's why the following year when we came back with Callahan, we beat the snot out of everybody because we took it out of the referee's hands. And when New England came back to us and everybody was holding up signs and, it was a fumble and all that stuff, we beat the snot out of the Patriots because it was like, you know what? We're not going to let anybody take this from us. You're not going to be able to take this game from us. And look, here's the thing. When I go back to the Tuck Rule game, it was unfortunate, but we played down to our opponent. New England should have never even been in the same field as us. They were not as good as us. But with all the intangibles and everything that else happened with the snow and everything that came down, we played poorly. We didn't play well enough. And of course, the rule didn't help. But it was one of those things where it's unfortunate circumstances that demised us that year. And you're always looking back as what if. But you saw two programs go in two different directions. Even though we went to the Super Bowl after that, it was still New England went up, Raiders kind of shot down and went into the dumps.
And now we got 12 walking around the halls wearing black.
I like my job.
Understood.
I
Understood.
like my job.
Oh man, that's so good. But earlier we had a question that what's probably your most memorable memory with the Raiders?
Oh man, so many. There's so many. I say I played with a lot of great guys, and as I look in, you guys are, you don't have it, the camera's not turned around, but this, my office is my shrine room. I have all kinds of pictures hanging up here, and my idol right over my left shoulder is Pops Jim Otto, because he was Mr. Raider to me. But, you know, I look up and I see pictures of my best friend Mo Collins, may he rest in heaven. So many good memories, so many fond memories, too many to really try to pick out one. But I will say, and I mentioned it earlier, the fact is that when we won the Lamar Hunt Trophy, the AFC Trophy in Oakland, and I saw how that stadium was just rocking, you know, after beating the Tennessee Titans, which was probably the most physical game I ever played in my entire career. That's how hard it was. That win, knowing that you're going to the Super Bowl, for me, knowing that you're going to the Super Bowl, know that you're going to the Super Bowl in San Diego, my hometown, you know, and I'm holding up that trophy, you know, in the picture that Julio put out there for publications, you know, that was such a tremendous memory for me because it stuck with me. I mean, it really did to this day. I remember it as though it was yesterday, walking around the stadium on the base level, high five, and never let people touch Raiders and getting up on that stage. And people often ask me when they see that picture, you know, what was going through your mind when you were holding up that damn trophy? And I said, that damn trophy was heavy as fuck. My shoulders are burned out. Excuse my language. But I mean, that damn thing was heavy. So when you see that little grimace on my face, I'm like, oh, this hurts. Shoulders are burning on fire, but that probably is one of my best memories of being there.
No, I'm definitely me too, because I saw the Super Bowl as a kid, but I was only like 6-7 years old. But 2002 when we beat the Titans and seeing, I wish I could have been in Oakland, and that was just amazing. Yeah,
much love.
Do you think we could ever get? I wouldn't say it's the same energy, but do you think Vegas can get that way if the team starts winning?
Yes, if the team starts winning, yes, people will come back.
2021.
Look, I mean, the Raider Nation is well traveled. I remember when they took over New Orleans. I remember when they took over London, England. It was one of the first times. You know what I mean? I remember there have been places I've seen the Raider Nation so well traveled, and I know for a fact that if this team turns it around, you won't have that many opposing jerseys in the stadium again.
Listen,
but let's face fact. It's a business, and everyone loves new stuff. So people want to go. People want to come to Vegas, hang out for a party, and it was a great business plan for the Raiders to move there because until Vegas got sports, what way to capitalize on a wonderful weekend? Most people only go to Vegas for a couple of days, but you imagine spending the end of your weekend at a football game.
Oh yeah.
Hey now.
That's the problem.
Absolutely.
That's the problem. But check this out. The 2021 week 18 Sunday night football against the Chargers at Allegiant Stadium. I'm not going to say it was Oakland. Okay. It wasn't Oakland, but that stadium was rocking, and there weren't that many Chargers fans there. They were there, but it was packed, and that was exciting. That was energy. That's one of the few times in Vegas where it's been really rocking. And I think if we have some success, it will build upon that.
There was something online back then. There was a playoff berth on the line. So obviously the Raider Nation is going to turn out. But I will say this, unlike any other stadium, any other place they've been, what I appreciate about Allegiant, it belongs to us. See, we didn't have that luxury when we were back in Oakland. We had to share with the
baseball field. Yeah.
You know, and we didn't have that. We didn't have that issue when we were in the Coliseum down in Los Angeles because you had to share with SC. That was their turf.
That was their home.
Allegiant is ours. You see what I'm saying? So when you walk around there, everything that you see is Raiders. You're not smelling garlic fries from the A's, you know, in the Coliseum like you were. You know what I mean? That is ours, and that's what I appreciate. You walk through that stadium, that is truly the Raiders stadium, and no one can take that away from us.
Yeah.
And I think the other part too you said is the party part, right? Like a lot of the nation, we love to tailgate. We love the tailgate.
Yeah.
And then Allegiant, the Raiders put their own restrictions, things like that. So then that limits, people wanting to go over there and thinking that it's not going to be the
but
same.
If you look around the league, here's the thing I will say this. When you look around the league, the NFL made a business decision to do that. If you go to San Francisco Stadium in Santa Clara, there's not really a lot of room to tailgate. They want you to take mass transit to get there, or they've got garages. They don't tailgate. Seattle, various cities around the country have put their stadiums in major metropolises. Why? To limit the amount of congestion around it, because they don't want you to come and cook out. They want you to spend your money in the stadium.
Inside.
They want you to come hungry. You see what I'm saying? That's a business move. So when you talk about the last of it, even when San Diego disappeared, the only one that can really do it is Kansas City. That means they're trying to get a new stadium, and they're going to eliminate that as well because it's one big party outside. But
I heard they're doing that in Buffalo too with their new stadium.
Absolutely, that's exactly right. So they're taking that away. So that's not that's not necessarily the Raiders' fault. Every stadium, every team is doing that because you want to generate the income that you're going to charge in the stadium. You want to charge $20 for a hot dog, and people are going to pay it if they're hungry.
Yeah, that pizza, like I need it. Shout out to my boy Raider Ryan Lincoln. What are your thoughts on the evolution of the offensive line play in the NFL since your days?
They're softer. They're soft. They don't. And you know what? Here's the thing. I'll be fair. It's not so much the detriment of the individuals. Let me preface this by saying that.
Okay.
To me, coaching on the professional level is overrated. You are who you are. Today. Okay. Yeah. You are who you are. It's overrated. Most people think, oh, you come in, you'll be able to take over and do it. No, you got. And so when you backtrack a little bit, I will tell you a lot of college football players don't block, they hinder. There's a big difference. You talk about some of these offenses when you turn on the college game because it's such a quick passing offense and the ball's out of the quarterback's hands, especially go after out of gun. You're not teaching offensive linemen to block. You're teaching offensive linemen to just get in the way. So you take away from that aggression, translate that to the professional level. What do you see? You see guys on the 3-yard line in an up stance coming from the shotgun. Hello? Whatever happened to smash mouth football? Whatever happened to hitting people in the mouth coming downhill? I don't necessarily like the tush push, but at least their guys are getting physical and digging in and scoring with their men. You see what I'm saying? So that's when I talk about collectively. You talk about teams that have been successful over the last couple of decades. How involved in the running game are they? Look at the Philadelphia Eagles last year. Saquon Barkley led the league in the National Football League in rushing yards. Physical team because they knew how to be physical. So overall, a lot of these teams, a lot of these offensive linemen, I said they're softer. They don't know how to come off the ball. They don't know how to hit people in the mouth. They don't know how to block. They know how to hinder. Well, I'll just stand in your way, make you go around. It'll take some time. Quarterback will get rid of the football.
True. Yeah. I don't know about you, but it drives me crazy when we're in goal line stance and they're in the shotgun. And then they run off that. I was like, what happened to smash mouth? Put it
when you do away with guys like the fullback and the lead play and stuff like that, you're diminishing a lot of the physical play that I come to learn and appreciate out of football. And not that you say every team fullback, I think it's a position that's kind of going out, but I have always been. I remember telling Callahan, and he was our run coordinator back in the day, but telling Gruden, I would look at Gruden if it was 3rd down and 1, 4th down and 1, and we were in the field. I know we're running the football, right? We better be running football, and it better be either 14 blasts over my ass or over the opposing. We better be running football because I don't like backing up, catching all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what you do in pass sense. I don't want to catch all the time. I want to attack. I want to hit people in the mouth. That's just how the way I play.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Chris. Salute, Link. Who were the 3 toughest defensive linemen you played against during your career?
Man, wow. Well, that's a tough one, dude. First and foremost, Salute to the Minister of Defense, may he rest in heaven, Reggie White. Badass. Kevin Carter was up there. Marco Coleman was up there. Oh my gosh, there's been quite a few. Quite a few. Neil Smith was my biggest nemesis, only because I hated him. But
I hated him.
Yeah, you weren't the only one, but because he talked so much trash. But we're good friends now. We patched up everything. We're cool now. But yeah,
I hated his little baseball swing thing. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. He would talk so much trash. When we played against Kansas City, I made it my personal effort, and even when he was with San Diego, I made it my personal effort to follow his ass around the field everywhere he went to block him. Even the ball on the other side of the field, I'm blocking him. It's like, man, what plays over? No, it's not over to the whistle play. Oh, okay, now it's over. I'll be back, Neil. I'll be back. And so I used to talk trash. You're not getting anywhere near my quarterback. You're not going to be able to tell what my quarterback's cologne is today. Oh, shut up, man. Yeah, so yeah, classic. Those were some of my favorites, no doubt.
That's awesome. And then the second part is who was on your Mount Rushmore of offensive tackles?
Wow. Let me think about this. Of offensive tackles, I will go with Ron Mix, Eric Williams, Anthony Munoz.
Ooh.
And my boy Willie Roaf.
Oh, Big Willie. Okay. Yeah.
Will and I came out together. He went one pick ahead of me to New Orleans when I went to Atlanta, and we were thick as thieves back in the day, as much as we could be. So that's my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
And no, I didn't include myself because I don't believe the people need to define their legacy. I think other people define a person's legacy. You don't need to hear. I don't talk. I don't embellish myself. Yes, I was successful, and yes, I thought I was pretty good. But as long as I had the respect of the guys that I played with and the guys I played against, I could give a damn about an honor.
Okay. I love that too, because the trenches get so forgotten sometimes. You always see everyone else on the posters, on the billboards, but it's in the trenches where it all gets done and taken care of.
Yeah. That's where business happens, and you're not going to be able to do anything if that engine doesn't make it go. The offensive defensive lines are the engine. We're the ones, the true battlers. All these fluff and puffs and these guys running around out there like divas.
I feel like you used to hear that a lot, where the games went in the trenches, and you don't hear that much often anymore.
I think it's because more broadcasters don't pay attention to it. You have to understand something. When you're watching a game or you're listening to a game, it's up to the announcers to sort of really dictate or steer you in the right direction. If you're always talking about, oh my goodness, look at the great play the quarterback made by throwing it to a wide receiver. Now you're looking at the quarterback wide receiver, but you're not necessarily remembering the intangibles that got him to that point. Or, running back hits the hole. Oh my gosh, he's on the second level. Look at Saquon Barkley, hurdle over that. You're not remembering how they got to that point.
No.
Or, you're not speaking of it. So I think a lot of it comes from the broadcasters. This is one of the great things I learned from John Madden.
I was about to say.
He paid attention to it. I mean, he was the one who first drew my attention. He's like, he hit him so hard, made him blow a snot bubble. And I was like, that was brilliant. I need that. And so got into the business and crossed paths with Coach. He said, you got to develop your own voice.
Yeah.
Because everybody thinks that they can do what we do, but you got to develop your own voice. And I was like, you're absolutely right. So that's when I learned how to draw down the conversation and explain it in layman's terms, because I wanted everyone who heard me to understand me. I never wanted to talk over anybody's heads, because I can get as technical as they want to, but I had the true gift, the true gift that I feel that I possess when I'm broadcasting and commentating is that I can explain. I can explain in layman's terms. If you're not a big football fan, I can make you a football fan by explaining what's going on right now.
Oh yeah, that is so true, because I grew up watching Madden, and that's how I learned about the trenches, the boom, the running.
Yep.
And then you watch Sunday Night Football, and they're just glazing Mahomes in the passing game.
Absolutely.
And they're glazing the catches.
Chris Collinsworth.
Yep.
Yeah, him.
The worst.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, so true, so true. Quick question from my buddy Jay. Link, what do you think of JPJ and Glaze's potential as offensive linemen?
First of all, I'm really impressed with I'll get to JPJ in a little bit. I'm really impressed with DJ Glaze. Here's a young man that been drafted out of Maryland. Not people really didn't have high expectations of. I know last year I didn't, but he stepped in and he helped solidify the right position, the right tackle position, which had been a burden for the Raiders for quite some time. They never really got that figured out, and I think they do now. As far as JPJ, I love his tenacity. He's that. There's a phrase that I have. It's called MIM, mauler in the middle. You got to have a mauler in the middle to define that running game. You know, I played with Steven Wisniewski. He was our mauler in the middle. Kevin Gogan back in the day was our mauler in the middle. Kelechi Osemele, when I first started cover the Raiders, he was that mauler in the middle. You know, Richie Incognito, he was that mauler in the middle. You got to have at least one guy that has a nasty attitude. I mean, just slobbers all over the place because he can't wait to hit somebody. You got to have that one guy for your offensive line to be successful. But JPJ has to learn tolerance. He has to learn how to control his emotion. Last year, he had 14 penalties in a short amount of time he played. It's a no-no because you can't cost your team. I will never take away from a guy's tenacity, but you have to control it. It's controlled violence between the whistles. So when the snap goes, you go full speed, but you also have to understand the rules have changed. You can't dive over a foul. You can't clear a foul like we used to do. No matter how much you want to. You can't hit guys when they're unsuspecting, no matter how much you want to. But more importantly, and this is the biggest thing that drove me crazy last year with JPJ, there is absolutely no freaking reason for you to jump off sides at home or have a false start at home. And you're the center or the guard. There is no reason. There is no excuse for it. What are you listening to? If I can hear the snap count up in the booth and I'm up on the 50-yard line in the fourth level, why can't you? Tone it back. So I do like JPJ and I do like the tenacity, but this offensive line has got to learn how to play together, much like a lot of the team, the guys. And Dylan Parham's got to stay healthy. My biggest question mark going into this season will be the offensive line play as well as the secondary play, because there are a lot of new faces and new places, and they got to come together. So I'm hoping for the best. Keep my fingers crossed, but it's still waiting.
But Glaze and JPJ, this is what I was saying earlier about our solid drafts 2 years in a row, because last year was Brock, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think JPJ and Glaze were both out of last season's draft. 2024 draft.
Yeah, JPJ was,
and they're both starters. Second year, they're both starting. Like, that's value coming out of the draft. It's
that's what you want. I mean, that's what you want. I mean, that's exactly what you want. But here's the thing: what you always run into is when you have a regime change, coaching changes. A lot of times, the coaches are going to come in like, "Well, I don't like that guy. Well, we just second round pick on him. We got to keep. I want to get rid of him. I mean, Josh Jacobs. Remember Josh Jacobs? Remember how he Green Bay? That's what happens. You had another coach come in and like, I don't like him. Let's move on. And that you have to build that foundation. So I agree with your point about last year's draft, but there's times where you just question it if it's going to stick because you have new coaching staff and new people coming in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it makes you wonder too. When like, that's not my guy. My regime.
Meredith is a guy who.
Well, here's the thing. Meredith, Meredith is playing a new position. Meredith never played center before,
ever.
But the thing is that he took it. The Raiders came to him. Pete Carroll, when they took over, came to him in the spring and they said, "Look, we want you to try center," mainly because they knew that tenacity was going to that JPJ has that that mauler in the middle is better suited at guard than it is a center. Because there were times there was some wild snaps with JPJ, right? And that's because
the Kansas City game.
Yeah, exactly right. See,
Kansas City.
That's what you don't want. So you want to take the thinking out of guys that can have that smash mouth attitude, and I just want you to go out there. I want you to attack. I want you to kill people, to hit people. Sick them, boys. Sick them. Yeah, I don't have to worry about directing the protection or directing the blocking scheme and getting the snap back there, wondering where quarterback is. No. Yeah, boys. Sick them. That's what I want.
Yeah, shout out to Meredith though, because he was on the practice squad for a couple of years, and he worked his way up. He's a big dude, and by the way, shout out to his mom Rita, because she's like one of the sweetest people on the planet Earth. By the way, if you ever get a chance,
Meredith's doing a good job. He is doing a good job. I'm really proud of him.
Yeah.
No, I do. I like that. The thing that's surprising to me right now is the situation with Kappa. Like, how does he fit in? Are like. That he hasn't, like, I always think about what you say. You can't make the club in the tub. And he's just now getting here. And then you see him out there on the first team, and it makes me wonder, like, is he gonna automatically get the start? Is he going to be looked at, or what are we going to do?
Well, he's not automatically going to get the start, but he'll play a lot in this preseason game. He's fighting for a job.
Yeah,
not fighting for a starting spot. Let me make that. He's not fighting for a starting spot per se. He's fighting for a job. And look, when you pick up a free agent, especially Alex struggled last year when he was in Cincinnati. Didn't have a great year, and because he's been often injured, you never know what you have. But I am a true the person that sits there and holds to very close to my chest. You got to know what you have in the cupboard before you go shopping. So what I mean is you got to see if this guy can perform or not before you either release him or you try to get someone else. The Raiders' offensive line right now lacks a lot of depth. They've got a lot of young guys that I expect are going to probably be on practice squad, but you got to have at least a good solid 7, if not 8, that you can rely on game day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm being very giving by saying that they're going to keep 8 on the active roster. That's a lot to think of, because there are other places, other groups that need those numbers that you're going to have to take away. Remember, you only allow 53. So when you start doing the math, what happens. So that's why it becomes important, for guys to be able to, Thayer Mumford be able to swing tackle. You got to have a swing tackle. You got to have a swing guard. It's one of the things by getting JPJ and Meredith in there at center, JPJ at guard, because JPJ can play center, but you don't know if you have another guard that can be that swing guard. And that's what you're trying to do, and you take a look at the reality, Dylan Parham, as much as I've been fond of him, this is a prove it year for me from him as well, because he's been often injured. So there's been inconsistent play, inconsistent effectiveness. So this is a big year for him. So, and then when you look at that, the rest of the offensive line, it really takes a couple steps backwards, because they haven't played together. They haven't necessarily been put together in a consistent way, but they haven't played together. And the better offensive lines are the ones that play longer together. It's just that.
That's That's true. That's true. Shout out to my boy Jack. He's a big, longtime Oakland Raider fan, but he put together his all-time Raider O-line. Left tackle Art Shell, Gene Upshaw, Jim Otto, Steve Wisniewski, and Lincoln Kennedy. What do you think?
There you go. Like that.
Oh man, I'm going to shed a tear. That is
that will win us a couple Super Bowls.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's just
that's
there is. Oh man, that's a beautiful thing. I'm flattered. Thank you very much.
But yeah, this Saturday is the last preseason game. So you said a lot of people are going to be playing for that final spot. I know 53 sounds like a lot, but like you said, when you start thinking positions, it gets slim. How many people are going to stay, how many are going to make, and I'm going to look forward to see who gets a lot of playing time and who's going to be able to make this final roster.
And the piece of advice that I've given to young players, especially when I was in the locker room or around the team, I said, look, there are 31 other teams out there, so there are 31 other possibilities. You want to put your best foot forward. You might not land in the silver and black, but I do wish you well to land someone else, because let's give credit where credit is due. These guys have done something to put themselves on that level. The National Football League, the professional level, right? Everyone can't do it. And you look at the numbers, because of the numbers that come out of college, you could literally replace the entire NFL every year with the amount of guys that come out of college. But you can't put a premium on experience. You can't put a premium on heart, dedication, knowledge. In order for guys to truly be successful on that level, they have to learn how to be a pro. So I tip my hat to anyone that's in any camp. And even when we had camp bodies, I could look in the locker room a lot of times like, you're not going to make it. But I wish them both. I wish them well. I mean, I do. I wish them well. I was like, this is probably not here for you. Most of these rosters are built up even before training camp comes around. They're pretty much solidified. They know who they're going to go in the season with. Make no mistake about that. They have a pretty good idea. You'll fine tune it in a couple spots, maybe a couple positions. Maybe you want to see your draft choices if your scouting department actually did a good job and they come alive. But you can never predict how a player is going to do until you put them in that situation. That's why I feel preseason is necessary. And it might not necessarily be necessary for every player. Going into this Saturday's game, I don't need to see Max Crosby because you already know what you're going to get. I don't even need to see. I don't even need to see. I mean, there's a lot of players. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to see because you already know what you're going to get. They've already been established. But there are those young guys. There are those team camaraderie special situations that you put them in, seeing your offense run a 2-minute drill. You might want to have these together. You see what I'm saying? Don't want to put in too many pieces, but and it's anyone's guess because every coaching staff that I've experienced and I've thought about, guys, is really different. Some of them put emphasis in the game plan. Some of them go completely vanilla, completely generic. I mean, it's like they're playing a Madden game. They're calling plays. Okay, let's do this. Well, we never practiced that before. Well, let's just do it. Let's just run it.
Let's just do it. That's funny. That's funny. Is there any truth that goes behind hiding of players so that they don't take them from your practice squad?
Well, you tried it. Look, if you go down particular rosters in the National Football League after the regular season starts, you're going to see a lot of notable names on practice squad. And what I mean by that is former draft choices, guys with names that high-profile names, and you'll be surprised. There are teams that try to hide him for reasons they might want to. Maybe he's not totally healthy, those types of things. But yeah, they do that. There are games that you play, and they expanded the sort of practice squad to give teams a little bit more depth because of the amount of games that they're playing regular season. But you still have teams that will try to hide their guys.
Try to hide their guys. Hey, thank you, big dog. Except for the panel. Who is your favorite Raider of all time? This is Jack Tatum, the assassin. I'm old school. Yeah, mine is Tim Brown because Notre Dame is my university, my college. Tim Brown.
Mine is Jim Otto. Jim
Otto for Big Link.
Yeah.
Mine would probably be Marcus Allen. I'm a USC fan, and I mean, you can't go wrong with him.
Marcus. Yeah.
Queen B, how about you? You don't say much. Who's your favorite?
I'm Tim Brown.
Yeah.
Timmy. And Howie Long.
Howie's another one.
I like Howie.
Yeah.
Mine is Tim Brown until somebody wins us the Super Bowl, and then it's that person.
Oh. Okay.
That's funny. That's funny. But we got a big weekend this weekend. You guys want to talk about what you're going to be doing out there in Arizona with the nation? We're going to be hanging out.
Lincoln obviously is going to be there. He's part of our event. Lincoln's been around us for, like I said earlier, some time, probably since 2012, 2013. Back in Mama's house in Chandler, he was one of the first persons that was out there with us when we started. So he's seen the scene here, how the Raider Nation gets together when the big games are in town. This is not a big game because it's not a regular season, but you're still going to get a big crowd, and the stadium's going to be, I would say, about 75% blacked out. It's just a matter of getting the nation here, but what you can expect, I mean, we're going to have fun Saturday. Lincoln will be there. Most of you know Jeff will be there. Lincoln, we talked about it with Jeff in our previous live on the toast we're doing for Mike Davis, how much Mike Davis meant for us. Not just diehard Raiders, but all the Raiders that live here in the Valley. He was at every function that he could be at. If he's seen you, he would say hi to you. He was always pulling strings for different, clubs and people here in the Valley. So he represented the Raiders here, pretty well. And a lot of people love them. He always showed people love, just like Lincoln. Everybody here in the Valley loves him. But we're going to have that special moment for him. Remember him. We didn't have that opportunity because obviously the Raiders haven't been here since 2019. But this is our shot to do it. And I feel like it was a must to include that as part of the event. So Lincoln's going to be there for that. I appreciate him for that. That means a lot to us, but I know a lot of folks that live here in the Valley too.
Well, Mike Davis was very special to me as well. We went into business. For those that don't know, we went into the Angry Crab business. We bought a couple franchises together. We have one in Vegas and Henderson, and I own one here in the North Valley, Happy Valley. So we went into that business together along with him and his family. And we just lost Mary, his wife, in June, and she was a big part of that too. So Mike is always special in my heart. It has a very dear place in my heart. He was always a good friend.
Yeah, Mike, I've seen it with Mike, how he would watch over the younger former players like Lincoln, took them under their wing, and just watching from far how he would, kind of talk to them, but he was a good mentor. He always if you talk to him, he would always give you some good advice. He would always encourage you to do the right things like that. Funny guy, good person to talk to, hear stories from. And I couldn't not see Lincoln not being part of that, because Lincoln's been part of that our whole time we've been together here.
No, like I said, you guys are special to me. So you're like extended family.
Yes, sir.
If you're representing the silver and black, you've got an affinity towards me. You will get a handshake, you'll get a hug if you're, and whatever. But I'm gonna show you love, because I do appreciate it. I know how much it means. Only playing for 2 clubs, it was like night and day coming to the silver and black after being in Atlanta. They didn't have and of course it was different ownership back then. So no slight against Arthur Blank. I think he's done great things for the organization, for the Falcons, but it was nothing like what I experienced in Oakland, my time down there. And so I was so proud to be welcomed with open arms by the nation. It's the least I can do. Least I can do is just show.
And you do it so much, because I know, I think my friend MC Raider Mario was saying that we're going to see you in October in Rosarito.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. Be shaking my ass to get to Mexico. Hey.
I think we're one of the few clubs in the NFL that you get to meet and be that close with some of the legends. And I love that about being a Raider fan. I really do.
Well, I'm flattered that you call me a legend. But in my heart, I'm just a regular guy who likes to be amongst the people. That's all. And so if I can do anything, bridge the gap between player and fan base, because, a lot of players don't really realize what it means to be a Raider. I never want to forget that tradition. I never want to let it slide. I took in from Jim Otto when I first met him coming over to the Raiders, and, being around Art Shell and all those guys, and it just how it resonated, playing with Tim Brown. I remember when Timmy got his 1,000th catch, and remember the celebration in the stadium, people were going crazy. So, there were so many good moments, so many fun moments that really did my heart and continues to do my heart good. And that's still why I'm affiliated. Even though I'm not calling the games anymore, I'm still around the program. I'm still affiliated. I'm still doing my thing with the podcast, Locked On Raiders podcast and stuff like that with Chantel and Q. So
I love that show, by the way, Raider Squad.
I appreciate it. I like Raider Squad. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. So and then do these things like this with you guys. So it doesn't take anything for me to do it. It's easy and it's desired. I enjoy doing it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Arizona's going to have a good lineup. It's going to be fun. We have Jeff, we have Lincoln, we have All In Autumn Win. That's going to be huge. That's going to be another special moment, doing the send off for him and wish him well in his journey on trying to break that record. That's going to be a fun time.
And I just wanted to put this out there because someone had just mentioned, I think it's Real Talk Raider Nation. Any plans for events at home games this year? Yes. Because I'm not working. There are going to be times we're going to go to my restaurant in Henderson in the outside parking lot, the space that we have. Yes, I am planning events right now. I don't have any details for you just yet.
Right.
But yes, they will be coming. We will be having some parties. Nice. We will have a good time. You will see.
That is awesome. That is
good food, good people, good times. That's what I'm talking about.
Is the location on 24th Street still open?
That's a good question. Yes. No, is it the 24th? No, it's 28th and Indian School. Is that one you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, 28th and then.
Yeah, you threw me for a loop. I'm like, 28th and Indian School. Because there's one like in 32nd and Market, and what you said 24th. I'm like, wait a minute.
28th.
Yeah, 28th and Indian School. Yes, that's still open.
Okay, cool.
Now I'm gonna have to go to Angry Crab when I go to Vegas. I gotta tell my buddy to take me there.
Bro.
Yeah.
Well, even try here in the Valley. We've got the 20 restaurants.
Oh, there you go, Queen. You can take me there. You can take me to Angry Crab.
Isn't there one right there on is it Thunderbird or Cactus? And
what is that? What's the Peoria?
Peoria, right?
We have one in Peoria. We have one in Surprise.
Yeah,
just go to angrycrabshack.com. You get all our locations.
Yeah.
You'll see mine up in Happy Valley, which is off of the 17 right before.
Oh, okay, that's up here. Yeah.
That's up north, and then I've got one that's in Henderson off of Sunset in Green Valley. So it's a big one. It's a big location. So, but I would advise anybody that goes there and tries our food, make sure I want you to try the Queen Crab. Specifically ask for the Queen Crab, Queen V. I'm looking at you.
Remember that.
Queen crab. Queen crab.
I
promise you would be. It's so impressive. Most people don't know about it, but it's a cross between snow and king crab. Absolutely magnifique. Get it?
That's what we're eating tomorrow, V. That's what we're eating.
That's what we're going tomorrow. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we're going tomorrow. We will let you know on Saturday how it went.
Yeah, Desert Raider has the 75th and Cactus. That's it. That's I know that address. Yes, you're right.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Cool. There we go. Yeah, see, it's not that far. I want to go now. Just kidding.
No, you gotta wait for me.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, listen, guys, I do want to thank you guys so much for having me on a couple of lives. I really do appreciate it, and I'm honored that you've asked me to come to this party. It is the last event before I start this journey, and
good luck to you, man. That's a big deal. Tell the people about it that don't know. I don't know if everybody knows, but talk about it. You have the moment.
So I'm going, some of you know that the last 3 years, I've been to the last 56 Raider games in a row, home and away. I've got a streak going, but this year I decided to go bigger, and I'm going for a Guinness World Record for the most games attended in a season. And the current record is 33. I'm going to try to beat that, but I'm going to try to go for over 50 games. So every Thursday, Sunday, Monday for 4 months, I'm going to be traveling all over the country going to games. It's going to be awesome, and I can't wait. I'm going to vlog the whole thing, and you can find that on social media, YouTube. It's under All In Autumn Wind, just like the hat says, All In Autumn Wind. But the send-off that Julio offered me was very special. It's the last kind of event before I go off to Philly. That's where the first game is on Thursday Night Football. Cowboys-Eagles is the first game I'll be going to as part of that record. And just really special that you offered that, and I'm very grateful. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for accepting the offer, because I was like, man, we got to get him out here. Like, we are the last preseason game. Like, this is his send-off. Like, the Niner and Raiders game was not going to be your send-off.
Yeah.
Maybe over there at home, but this is the last game. And I know that with the amount of Raider fans that are in town and coming into town, like, what better way just to give you that, kick in the butt and wish you well.
I love it, man. I love it.
Are you bringing any of your hats? Do you have any with you, Brian? To Arizona?
Yeah, I could bring some in Arizona. I got
bring one out. I'll get one from you. Yeah. Please.
Okay, cool.
I keep telling Mario that I want one. Yeah.
Nice.
Lincoln want one too.
My big ass head can't fit into most caps, so that's why I don't wear them. I've got a huge melon up here. Huge melon.
Is that why you see
Lincoln? Oh, go ahead. I was just going to ask you. I know you mentioned.
We got two people sweating.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was just going to ask. I know you mentioned to me a couple months ago about your son playing high school football. What position is he going into?
Tackle.
Tackle. Perfect.
I built
a question.
He's a junior. He's a junior at Mountain View High School here in the Valley. He's a junior. He's 16 years old, 6'6", 275 pounds. He's left tackle. I built him big, guys. That's I only know how to do it.
6'6", 275 as a junior.
At
16 years old.
But here's the greatest reward, and this is the proud papa moment. My son Ty has already had an offer from Dartmouth, Columbia, U of A, Stanford. He's already had an offer from those schools, and he's a junior.
So he's going to be a Raider in 6 years.
Well, I mean, all I here's my thing, and we talked about it tonight because I took him. He had a scrimmage yesterday. The first game is next Thursday. I told him, and I told all of my kids this. I've got 3 boys, 1 girl. I told all my kids I could give a damn about sports. Education is where you keep your mind at.
Yes.
And so I've got Ty as a 4.0 student, and he is going to go to the next level. Whether he plays ball in the next level is to be determined. But he's a 4-point student. I've got one who graduated. My eldest graduated from SC in 3.5 years, and my next one that's in line, Tavon, is up at UNLV going into his sophomore year. Both of them, all of them, good students. So I that is a proud papa moment. That is what does me justice and the reason why I exist right now.
Nice.
That is amazing, Lincoln. Yes. Wow. Having them get their education first.
No doubt. Because you can take all this physical away. Can't take my mind away. I'm going to keep my mind. It's one reason I got to have to put something in this big head. I'm always learning. I can't let it happen.
That's cool.
That is awesome.
On the, I know you're doing the radio tomorrow via phone with Ken. We got Jeff on there. Brian, we'll talk about it. We're trying to get Brian on there, give him a couple minutes to speak about his journey this season with what he's got going on. But we will be out there. So anybody that's watching, we'll be at Westgate Carousel for the radio show. Lincoln won't be there, but he'll be there via phone. Yeah. But we will all be there. I know V, Brian, you won't be there, but Leo will also be there later in the evening. So anybody's welcome to come out, listen to the show from the place, and then party afterwards.
Party like a rock star. Party like a rock star.
I gotta give a shout out to TW, who offered to pick me up at the airport in Phoenix and take me to the party on Saturday.
Oh wow!
So shout out to TW. Yeah.
That's cool. Nice. Yeah. I'm gonna shout out to Queen V for offering to pick me up and chauffeur me around all weekend in Arizona.
All right.
No
problem. Well, guys, this has been fun. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. And I will update the video and then have you back on, Link.
Yes.
Is there any other players I should take out? Do I leave Carr in there? Do I take him out?
No, Carr's good.
Derek didn't quit on us. Derek didn't quit on us.
Okay.
I'm gonna install him out. He didn't quit on us. Like I said, I just have issues with guys that did
quit.
You know,
right.
You know, there are times, and it's a business. I understand, but you know, anyways, I've already got my spiel. No, we're not. I've already dedicated enough time to him. He's not worth any more than that. So,
what time at Carousel?
So at Carousel tomorrow, Ken will be broadcasting live at 2 p.m. out of Carousel, but the radio show or the Raider part of the show will begin at 4. So that runs from 4 to 6. We'll be there about 3, hanging out with them, watching the show, and then, you know, getting in on the conversation as well. So yeah, come in at any time after 3.
All right.
And there is no cover. Kids can come. Kids can be there up to 10 o'clock at night, but anybody's welcome to come out and hang out, especially if you're from, you know, in town from somewhere else. Come hang out.
We'll be there after we go hit up that Queen Crab.
Yeah, we're gonna go do that first, and then we'll be there. Sorry, we're
Queen Crab at the Egger Crab Shack. Yeah. Be sure to tell them Lincoln sent you. Be sure to tell them Lincoln sent you.
Yes,
We will.
And then Lincoln, you'll have some of your smokes on Saturday, right? Your cigars.
You already know, Julio. I'm gonna travel.
Yes, sir.
You already know.
I gotta get one.
I'll bring some party. I got my sticks ready to go.
Yep. Awesome. LK cigars. Look out for them.
Yes, sir.
We'll get it back. I got to bring some back to the boys back home to Doug.
There you go. We got some. We'll have some fun.
Awesome.
So cool. Awesome. Thank you, Lincoln, for jumping on.
I appreciate it very much. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for having me. And Raiders.
Thank you. Man, that dude.
Thank you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you guys. We'll see you guys this weekend. Leo, can't wait to meet you. Brian, definitely we're gonna have a blast. I can't wait to meet you either. And V, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Yes, I know, sir. Brian, you have safe travels. Leo, have safe travels. Yes. And it's almost go time, so we can't wait.
Let's do it.
Guys. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom. Man, that was awesome. I can't believe Lincoln Kennedy called me out on my video. I'm going to hear it so much from everybody. Because it's happened before, Julio. Everyone always says, why do you still have Tay on there? Yeah. Why do you have Carr on there, right?
Yeah.
You better work on that shit tonight, fool. You're not sleepy.
Right? Hey, run down. I need you to make me a new video.
That's good, though. I mean,
that was cool.
That was a good show. Thank you, Leo, for putting everything together. That was dope.
Hey, no problem, man.
Definitely not the last ones we're doing. It's gonna be fun.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
We're definitely. We got some stuff that we're working on for when the Raiders are on the road. But once I get everything mapped out and we have players confirmed and stuff, We're gonna start bringing some on you. So
yeah. No, let me know because I'm part of the Black Hole. We like to be in the mix of everything as well. So you let me know, bro, and I'll be there.
Yes, sir. Oh no, we'll talk about it when you're in town, man. It's gonna be dope
for sure. Appreciate it. I can't wait.
It's been a blessing. It's definitely been a blessing to get on this and work this out with you.
Yeah, thank you too. Likewise, both of you, Julio and Envy. I told me earlier, I appreciate so much being involved in all this, and I love it. Thank you guys.
And now we get a party on the weekend, so that's gonna be dope.
It's an honor. It's an honor to be able to help and do something for us here, and it's gonna be amazing this weekend. I can't really wait. I can't wait to see everybody. So just hit us up, let us know where you guys are at. You guys need connection. You guys need to figure out where you guys are lost. Hit us up.
Yeah, and if you need the link to buy tickets, I know you're having problems. Hit me up on Instagram. I've sent the one I have to numerous people, and it works to buy your tickets.
Yeah, I mean, and you can buy them there too. I mean, if anything, you can buy the general admission there too. I mean, do we still have exclusives, Julio? I forgot if we.
They're still on there.
I haven't checked since the other day.
Yeah.
But I know they went up 100 more on there, so I don't know where they're at as of today. But that was like 2 days ago when it showed up as sold out. And that was probably over 150 tickets by then. But we added another 100. I'll double check tomorrow, but as long as it don't say sold out, there's still some available. So grab them.
No, I checked for Santo Raider earlier, and it was on there still. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. And then tomorrow, just so everybody knows, tomorrow there's no cover. So it's just the Raider Nation meetup. Anybody's welcome. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it, brother. All right. See you guys
tomorrow. All right. Have a good night.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
Just win, baby. Look, check it out. All black with a hoodie, snapback, really snap on. Long white socks, me mugging like I'm King Kong. With them all black Chuck Taylors. West side and this bitch yelling Raiders. Thuggin', cause we ill with it. Motherfuckers like y'all suck, but we don't give a fuck, nigga. We deal with it. Jaw jacking, getting nigga fucked up with the quickness. Parking lot squabbles, giving nigga the business. Shh, quiet, the fuck you mean? We yelling Raiders, bitch. Like fuck your team, you wanna talk your shit. Get sad like Scream Stadium, take off, nigga. Homicide scene. Oakland to LA, LA to Oakland, Las Vegas, Sin City, steady smoking. Raiders looking to get another ring like fuck y'all haters, nigga. Y'all know what I mean? We yelling Raiders, bitch. Y'all know what's up, like Raiders, bitch. Quit there, 2 niggas up like Raiders, bitch. I show no love like Raiders, bitch. Nigga, we don't give a fuck. Raiders, bitch. Y'all know what's up, like Raiders, bitch. Quit there, 2 niggas up like Raiders, bitch. I show no love like Raiders, bitch. Nigga, we don't give a fuck.
With so much drama in the big LV, it's kinda hard being Yaya or end up C. But I, somehow, some ways, keep dropping these Raider hits like every single day. May I sip on this Henny while these haters pay attention and my name stay bitchin'. I'ma stay G'd up like a silver feed up and tucked as a burner just in case it eats up. But I'm humble, 10 toes down to never stumble. Keep doing Raider music, imitating, never double. It's like everywhere we go, it's like the same old shit. Here Raiders just suck, y'all can suck my dick. It's a nation just to prove, no need to consume, win, lose, or tie. Raider Nation keep moving, top to the bottom, bottom to the top. It's Raider Nation all day till the casket drop.
We yelling Raiders, bitch. Y'all know what's up, like Raiders, bitch. Quit there, 2 niggas up like Raiders, bitch. I show no love like Raiders, bitch. Nigga, we don't give a fuck. Raiders, bitch. Y'all know what's up, like Raiders, bitch. Quit there, 2 niggas up like Raiders, bitch. I show no love like Raiders, bitch. Nigga, we don't give a fuck. Welcome in this bitch like nigga, what's happening? With whiskey in my cup, turned up, Raider Nation hella active. Watch what you say, watch the yapping, nigga, don't get your ass kicked. We about that action, I'm a goofy nigga, but I ain't no goofy nigga. Fuck around and find out, he's doing a 2-piece nigga. Everybody knows me, soon as I hit the scene. They like, Raiders, bitch, nigga, fuck your team. Champions Club, I am the one. VIP access, we do what can't be done. I do what I do, nigga, that's on the daily. Talking hella shit, give a fuck if they hate me. Only one nation, Raider Nation, and it's evident. Any other nation is irrelevant. Commitment to excellence, just win, babies, what we telling them. Shout out to the nation, you know I had to represent. We yelling Raiders, bitch. Y'all know what's up, like Raiders, bitch. Quit there, 2 niggas up like Raiders, bitch. I show no love like Raiders, bitch. Nigga, we don't give a fuck. Raiders, bitch. Y'all know what's up, like Raiders, bitch. We hit you niggas up like Raiders, bitch. I show no love like Raiders, bitch. Nigga, we don't give a fuck.